Hi guys, so it's about 9:41 right now, and I just wanted to come on to start this 24-hour readathon vlog to let you guys know of what I plan on reading. I do plan on reading quite a bit before the readathon though, just because I have nothing really to do. I'm waiting on some videos to convert to a different file format at the moment before I do some editing, but I did want to start one of my books because I meant to start it earlier today, but I wasn't feeling great earlier. I was really tired, so I ended up sleeping in before I went to class. So I wanted to let you guys know of what the actual itinerary for the 24-hour readathon is, because it is a little bit different than what I had intentionally wanted that I had said in my TBR video for January. So I just finished 4 yesterday, so that means that I am getting ready to start Justice Buried by Hilary Thompson, which will be on my iPad. Then I'm thinking that that one's going to be a pretty quick read because most of the books I get from Off Tomes Publishing are really fast reads. And this one I think is like just over 300 pages, so I might be able to finish that before 3 a.m. depending on how quick it reads, but I think it should. And then after that, I have a whole list that's on my whiteboard over on the other side of the room that I can see. Then after that, I will be reading Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, which is much thicker. It's over 600 pages, but it's all poetry, so that should still be a really quick read as well. I think I remember reading one of Ellen Hopkins's books several years ago, and I had read about 3/4 of it in the span of like 3 hours, I would say, maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's a quick read because it's all poetry based. So each of the poems are like on a page, and so they get to be really quick. Then after that will be the first book in the Beautiful Creatures series, Beautiful Creatures, which that one will probably take most of the day, probably the rest of the late night hours going into early morning, because that book is like over 500 pages long, and it's much more dense to get through than Justice Buried and Perfect, so that'll probably take the most amount of time. I think by the time, though, it gets to early morning, it'll probably take me like a good 7 or 8 hours to read that one. So probably by the time it gets to be like 10 o'clock or so, I'll probably finish that one. And then I will be starting Whispers of the Fallen by J.D. Netto. And I have class from noon to 12:50, and then I have a lunch kind of hour, really, is what I would call it, because that's when I would take my lunch after that. But I'm not working tomorrow, which is nice. I don't start work until next week, so I'm very happy that I was able to get this 24-hour readathon in early. But yeah, so pretty much, though, the rest of the time, like when I go to class and coming back from class and when I eat my lunch, I'll be listening to my audiobook, so I will make sure to leave my audiobook minutes as well in this video, because that still kind of counts. But yeah, I'm expecting to get through at least 4 books today, because Whispers of the Fallen is supposed to be really fast-paced too, and for a fast read at least. My hope is that I will at least get through Whispers of the Fallen, and maybe then after that, if I finish it, City of Ashes. I think City of Ashes will probably get me through the end of the day, because again, that's a little bit more of a heavier, dense book than the Off Tomes books and Perfect. So yeah, I think that that's pretty much going to be my TBR for the day. Okay, so update. It's 11:27 right now, so I've got a little over half an hour before I'm going to be starting the 24-hour readathon. I have started Justice Buried. I'm about 48 pages into it out of 423, which is not counting for my actual 24-hour readathon. That's just an update of to where I am, so that I know at least later on how many pages I need to subtract later. That's just for editing Gabby purposes. But I just finished editing the Half-Blood Prince review, which should be going up sometime maybe tonight. I'm going to be basically posting very late at night videos, because I plan on doing some more editing while I'm up. This way it might help me stay awake a little bit more, because I'm almost done with my vanilla Coke, and then I think I'm going to transfer to coffee. But to help me kind of maybe stay awake, I'm going to be editing 2 more videos. I'm going to be editing my 4 book review, my 4 by Veronica Roth book review, and my 2018 channel and reading goals for the year. So that all might help me stay awake. basically what it's going to do is give me time also in between to do some more reading. Like right now, this is going to take like 36 minutes or so to render, so that's a little more than I need until the 24-hour readathon starts. So I'm going to basically read a little bit more, probably for like 15 minutes, and then I'll give myself a break before the readathon actually starts, and then we'll kind of just go from there. But it's going to just basically be alternating between reading and editing and things like that. Thankfully, the reviews aren't taking super long to edit. I think, honestly, this one took me maybe 45 minutes to edit, and that was because there was a lot involved in this review, whereas my 4 review didn't have as much. And then my 2018 reading goals is not much either. Like, it probably will take me less time to do that. So it's just going to depend. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning on, and I don't plan on doing any more videos today, I don't think. I had stuff written down. Yeah, all I'm doing after editing those is just uploading them, which doesn't take very long to upload. So I'll basically just be uploading them after they've been edited and stuff like that. So you guys will be seeing some later night videos going on as this is going on. Okay, it is 11:54 right now, and I finished my vanilla Coke, so might wait a little bit before I make a cup of coffee. Probably will wait until this video is done rendering. It's got about 12.5 minutes right now, but I think I'm going to at least turn on my Keurig. And then once this video is done rendering and I go to upload it, I'm going to, make the cup of coffee, and then we'll kind of see what happens from there. I got a little bit further into Justice Buried. Not very many pages, though, because as much as I thought it was going to be fast-paced, it's kind of not. It's actually pretty slow right now. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about it at this point, but I like it enough to where I want to continue, and I'm curious enough about it. It's just really hard to like even figure out what the heck's going on right now, just because we're kind of in the position of the main character where we have no idea of what is going on, just like she doesn't know what's going on. So it's kind of a big guessing game, but I'm hopeful that in the next several chapters we'll be able to get more information as to what is going on and what she needs to do, because there's some kind of thing she might have to do, but it's kind of like only if something happens, but there's gonna be something that's gonna happen. It's gonna have to. But yeah, so in the meantime, I'm gonna just chill right here. It's 11:55 right now, so oh no, and I'm already yawning. Oh geez, I'm gonna need to get a cup of coffee soon. But I don't know if it's because I'm actually tired or what. I can feel my eyes are starting to not hurt, but they're getting heavy. So hopefully a cup of coffee will wake me back up. But I'm kind of scared to go sit in my bed just because I know if I do, I'm gonna fall asleep. But I know I'm gonna have to at some point. Hello everyone, it is currently 1:36 in the morning. I have finished my first cup of coffee probably like 20 minutes ago, and I'm currently finishing up processing my channel and reading goals video for 2018. That's almost done on YouTube right now. Currently, I am on page 103 out of 323. I realized I said that wrong earlier, and before I started the 24-hour readathon, I was on page 54, I think. So I've made quite a bit of a dent since then. I'm I'm pretty much about a third of the way through this book, and it's very strange. It's kind of dystopian, sci-fi-y kind of story, and it's weird. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's strange. Like, there's this real sense of unease the entire book so far, and I like that a lot. I definitely feel that's a huge factor in the atmosphere that's being played into, but it's also kind of dragging on a little bit. Like, I just wish that there was a little bit more kind of action, but the problem is we're literally learning things as she's learning them, so that leaves a lot to, we have to learn. So it's interesting though. I'm enjoying it for sure. Like, I'm going through it quickly. It's definitely something that I did not expect, and I don't know, I like it. It's turning out to be pretty decent, but I don't know how it's going to change. It's definitely getting to a point where things are becoming a lot more dire for the main character, and it pretty much focuses on the zodiacs, which was what I had heard about, but it's focusing on the zodiacs in the sense that literally everything is determined by your zodiac sign. So that's quite interesting. And so I'll talk about more about that in my review and how that's kind of set up. But yeah, so like I said, now it's like 1:38. It's like almost 20 to 2 in the morning. I'm feeling great. Not too tired right now. I think the coffee's definitely helped me. Okay, so for the first time, I think since my first readathon I've done, it's 3 a.m. and I don't feel the need to go to bed. I feel fine. I've yawned a few times, but I'm not in a state where I absolutely need to go to bed. Right now, I am on page 193 out of 323 of Justice Buried, and holy crap, this book's actually gotten really, really good in the last, like, 100 pages. Like, it's gotten really, really interesting, and definitely a lot better than I had expected, but I can tell my voice is getting tired just because it's getting a little raspy. Still have over 100 pages left. I have like 130 pages left to read. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really interested because things have actually taken a really bad turn right now, and I'm not quite sure what's to be expected, but yeah, because it's 3 a.m. right now, I'm gonna make myself another cup of coffee. I'm not feeling sick or anything, which is good. But I definitely think I may need to just keep a monitor on my caffeine intake just to make sure I don't get sick. So yeah, I'm gonna make another cup of coffee, and I should hopefully finish this within the next couple of hours. So probably by like 5 a.m. I should have this done, something like that. Okay guys, so it is actually 4:40 in the morning right now, and I have just finished Justice Buried by Hilary Thompson. The book itself was actually 290 pages, but there was actually quite a lot of information regarding the other books in the series. Apparently there is 2 more books, and there is 3 separate novellas following 3 of the main the male characters that are involved with it, which I thought was really cool. I didn't even know that there were more books out yet. But let me just say, holy crap, was this not at all what I had expected it to be. I did not know going into this book what I was going into, but I loved it so much. I really did. It's so captivating, and it's just so hard to explain like right now, so I feel like I need to actually do my review in order to get my thoughts out, but I don't have the time for that right now. And I am currently still working on my second cup of coffee, so I still feel great. Like, I don't feel really tired at all. Definitely though, having been laying down, I can feel myself becoming a little more sleepy just because I'm not moving, but holy crap, like, I'm gonna say right now, my rating for this is like 4.75 out of 5 stars. So if I was to mark it on Goodreads, it would actually be like a 5-star, but it's really a 4.75, and a lot of it is because I didn't like how it started, really, in terms of there being a lot of mystery, and there not really being any clarity as to what's going on. The clarity really came in much later, and it just kind of made the beginning much more slower than I had anticipated, which I didn't care for, but overall, like, it was amazing. So if you guys get a chance, if you are interested in something very dystopian based, very sci-fi, definitely check out Justice Buried by Hilary Thompson, because it's amazing. Like, it's so interesting, and it focuses so much on the Zodiacs and how much the Zodiacs have how they can have such an impact on a society, and how a society can pretty much dictate everything by the Zodiac, and it's so freaking crazy, and there's all kinds of lies and deceit and traitors, and it's crazy. It's a crazy, crazy story, and I was not expecting it. But anyway, okay, so now I am going to take a quick bathroom break before I move on to my next book, which will be Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. Okay, it is almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I am on page 145 of Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, and I'm going to sleep. Good morning. I don't know if you guys can see me, but it is after 10 a.m. right now. I feel refreshed. I've slept for 4 hours, and I feel really refreshed. So, it turns out that my mom ended up having a snow day today, excuse me, because despite the fact that yesterday we had like over 50 degree weather, today it is probably like 20 degrees and it snowed again. And so she and my sister Tori have had snow days from school, so they are both home. And my mom is going to end up being here about the time my class ends, and I will be going home. So, I need to get my stuff packed up. So, and I was gonna shower this morning, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get home later, just because I'm only gonna have to be out for one class. So, yeah, I think I'm basically just gonna get some stuff around and then sit back down in bed and read some more of Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. And I think that's basically going to be my morning. I'll leave here around 11:30-ish to head off to class, like I said, and that way it gives me enough time to get through the snow, because sometimes it's weird, like in the snow, like it takes me longer to walk through it, especially if there's a lot of wind and it's really cold, because I don't want to move much in the cold, but we'll kind of see. I don't know if it's snowing like super hard right now. I haven't exactly looked outside. But that's kind of what I'm anticipating, because it was a major pressure drop, which is weird because normally in those situations I get a really extreme headache like that day that it happens, and I don't have one right now. So I don't know what's the deal with that. I normally get like really, really bad headaches from that, but I don't know. I'm just counting my blessings for that, because I hate when I get those kinds of headaches because it makes me super duper sick. But yeah, and the fact that I slept for 4 hours and I'm okay is weird. Like, it's so strange how my body in these 24-hour readathons is able to work off of 3-4 hours of sleep. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so it is now just after 11:30. I'm going to be getting around to head off to class right now, and currently I am on page 206 in Perfect, and it's actually a lot darker than I had expected. Like, I know that a lot of Ellen Hopkins' writing is really dark, as it deals with a lot of very troublesome themes, so if you do end up reading this book at some time, I would place very strong trigger warnings for things like drug abuse, eating disorders, depression, suicide, what else? And maybe sexual abuse and not exactly domestic violence, but the beginnings of what would seem to be domestic violence. And it's just, there's a lot that Ellen Hopkins writes that's really dark, because she talks about a lot of things that aren't necessarily brought into light very often in society, but are very, very relevant to teenagers and things of that nature as they're growing up. Okay guys, it is shortly after 1 in the afternoon now. I've just gotten back from class, and turns out my mom left about 20 minutes ago or so, so she will not be here until closer, like I said, to probably 2:30 or so. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to continue reading Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, and I should hopefully be nearly done with it by the time she gets here. I might be over halfway done with it, and then I could possibly read it on the way home. Hi everyone, so I'm home now, and it is currently 4:26 in the afternoon. I actually pretty much read the entire way home, and I got a lot of reading in before Mom got to campus. So I am currently on page 494 out of 600 something. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see. 622. So I am just over 130 pages done, or I have less than 130 pages until this book is done. I should be able to get it done today, probably within the next couple of hours, because this is actually a pretty fast read. I think I read like 200 pages or so just on the way home, so, and that was like an hour and 15-minute drive, so it's been pretty good. Okay, it is now almost 5:30, and I have finished Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. Wow. That's all I can really say. Okay, so it is now almost 8:10, and I've read quite a bit of Beautiful Creatures as of now. I'm on page like 73, I think. Yes, page 73. And then I decided to watch a movie with my mom. So I'm probably going to end this 24-hour-thon here, only because I don't really want to read much more today. I feel like I've done a lot. I finished 2 books today, which have both equated to nearly 1,000 pages, along with the 73 pages I've read in Beautiful Creatures. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I've read over 1,000 pages. I didn't expect to obviously read that much. But it's been pretty cool, and I actually stayed up much later than I had expected, which was a win for me because I have such a hard time staying awake anymore. But I think I found something that works for me with these 24-hour readathons, which is really nice to know. So yeah, I'll let you guys know in my February TBR when my next 24-hour readathon will be. It'll probably be more towards the middle of February, but we'll kind of see how that goes. I may end up changing it. I don't know. It just depends. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy this readathon, let me know down in the comments below, and please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. Say bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.